Elon University has an endowment of $335 million. Now that sounds like a lot, but it's lower than many schools around our size. Vice President for University Advancement Jim Piatt says Elon started raising money later than some of our competitors. But what is an endowment? Where's the money going? And quite frankly, why should students care? I sat down with Jim Piatt to have that conversation.
In its simplest form, an endowment is a series of funds that the university holds in perpetuity. That means they're there forever, and those funds have a purpose, and most of those funds at Elon have a purpose of supporting student scholarships.
How has the pandemic impacted it at all?
Yeah, well, again, I would say that because the endowment is largely restricted for certain purposes, that's what it's restricted for, and we can't use it for other reasons. Probably where that pandemic had the impact the most is simply that in the donor community, people who are considering making a gift to the university or any charitable organization for that matter, they may have had their confidence shaken a little bit.
Was it also because of how the university responded to specific things? Did you hear donors talk about that at all in terms of us being able to be open and how that made it?
You put the finger on it right there. So many folks we've heard from were just tickled that we pushed through, worked hard to remain open, remain face-to-face, because I think a lot of donors to Elon, just like a lot of students at Elon, understand this place is about engagement and high-impact practices, and those things happen because we're in the same space.
How are you kind of spreading that message that not only higher education is worth it, but then Elon education is worth it?
Yeah. Well, we focus a lot on how the Elon education is worth it in our messaging, and there's no better way to tell that story than through the lens of students. So to be very open about this, we will show, we'll utilize some video resources where students and alums will tell their story about how a scholarship to attend Elon made all the difference. We also do things like scholarship students will write to the donors who created the scholarship that student has received and thank them and send photos of their Elon experience. I think the main thing I would say to students today is to think about the impact of philanthropy that surrounds you, whether those donors gave to endowment or whether they made gifts to support some of the technology or the building space itself. The impact of giving back to the university or giving to the university is felt every single day. For most students, it feels somewhat invisible, right? But I can guarantee you, if you go through a year at Elon, buildings that were supported by donors, you are going to be taking advantage of opportunities that were supported by donors. And as students get to sort of understand that as part of their Elon experience, then when they become alums and they maybe get a call from our phone center about would you consider a gift back to the School of Com or a gift to the Phoenix Club to support athletics, they may be a little more inclined to do so.
To watch the full Q&A with Vice President for University Advancement